It's time for a new how-to video. In this video, we're going to take a look at how you can get started with yield farming. But first, we'll take a look at what yield farming is. So, on Blockworks, we can read yield farming is the process of using DeFi to maximize returns. Users lend or borrow crypto on a DeFi platform and earn cryptocurrency in return for their services. Of course, like many things crypto, yield farming can be risky due to price volatility, rug pulls, smart contracts, hacks, and more. Before we can get started, however, we'll have to select a network, and as we can see on DeFi Llama, there is a whole list of networks out there. Of course, the most famous one is the Ethereum network, and as we can see, most of the value is locked on the Ethereum network as well. In this video, I'll take a look at the Cronos network, and I'll show you how to set it up. The next thing you do is go to the official website of the network. So in this case, we are going to the website of the Cronos ecosystem. On this website, we'll have to find out which wallet we can use to interact with this network. So in this case, we click on wallets. On this page, we see a nice list of different wallets that are supported by the Cronos network, but the most famous one is the Metamask wallet. In case you already have a wallet or you know how to set it up, then you can take a look at the description of this video and there you'll find the timestamps. You can use these to easily jump to the part that you are interested in the most. However, for this tutorial, we'll be using the Metamask wallet and not the Crypto.com DeFi wallet. The reason behind this is because Metamask can be used in almost all the interesting DeFi applications out there. This means that the next thing that we'll have to do is download the Metamask browser plugin. This brings us to the official metamask.io website, so it's very important that you go to the official website and that you don't arrive on a scam website. So always triple check that you're on the correct website. As we can see, there's a plugin made for Chrome. We click on download. In the Chrome Web Store, we see that this is probably the correct one because we have this little badge and we see that the Metamask plugin that we're looking at right now has been downloaded by over 10 million users. So we click add to Chrome. Once you've successfully downloaded the plugin, you'll be taken to this page. You click on get started. If you already have the wallet, you can import one, and otherwise you create one by clicking create a wallet. Then you have some very important information. Please read this very carefully. In this case, we're going to agree. Then you have to create a password, and we agree to the terms of use. Next, we click create. Here you'll see a very important video. Again, please watch this video before continuing, but since we want to keep this video short, we're going to click next. On the next page, you will get your recovery phrase. This one is super critical. These words give you access to everything in your wallet, so please write it down. If you lose them, you lose everything, and if somebody else gets them, then they get access to all your crypto. Since we're setting up a fake wallet, I'm going to click remind me later. And there you go, your account is set up. So on this page, you see the name of your wallet, which is by default account 1. Then you see your address, which you can copy if you want to. This is a public address, so if you want somebody to send you money, you have to give them this address. Next, we see how much Ethereum we have in this wallet, which is of course 0. And then we see all the tokens that we have, which is of course nothing. Next, if we take a look at the top right corner, we see that we're connected to the Ethereum network. And as we said earlier in this video, we don't want to go to the Ethereum network, but we want to connect to another network, in this case the Cronos network. So that means we'll have to change the network by clicking here. And right now there's only one network, which is the Ethereum mainnet. That means we'll have to add the Cronos network ourselves. We can do this by clicking add network, or we can simply go to a website called Chainlist. And on this website, we can connect our wallet that we just created by clicking connect wallet. Next, the website will create this pop-up asking you if it can connect to your wallet. In this case, we will allow it. Next, connect. Once we're connected, we can add all these different networks to our Metamask. So in this case, we want to connect to the Cronos mainnet. And we do this by clicking add to Metamask. As we can see, we'll get another pop-up. And this will ask us if it can add all this network information. So again, in this case, we will approve. Next, it will ask us to switch from the Ethereum network to the Cronos network that we just added. Again, in this case, we will click switch network. If we then go back to our Metamask wallet, we now see that we have a new network added to our list, which is the Cronos mainnet. Now, just as we can see on the Ethereum mainnet, the main token is the Ethereum token, and on the Cronos mainnet, the main token is the CRO token. This brings us to a very important concept that if you want to interact with the network, you will have to have at least some of the basic tokens of the network. This means that if you want to interact on the Cronos network, you will need some CRO. If you want to interact on the Ethereum network, you will need some Ethereum in your wallet. So the first token that you will ever have to transfer is the token of the network itself. So if we want to be active on the Cronos network, we will have to transfer some Cronos tokens. Now, in case you didn't know, the Cronos network was created by Crypto.com, and of course Crypto.com is a centralized exchange. So it makes sense that we use this one in order to buy the CRO token and then transfer it to our wallet. However, you don't have to use the Crypto.com website. You can buy the CRO token on different centralized exchanges such as Coinbase, KuCoin, FTX, Upbit, and more. Now, in case you do want to create a Crypto.com account, then you can use my affiliate link in the description of this video if you want to support the channel, of course. If you don't, then just go to Crypto.com and you can create your account directly on there. So once you purchased your CRO token on your favorite platform, the next thing that you have to do is send that token to the Metamask wallet. So in this case, when we go to Metamask again and we are in our account, you simply click here, copy to clipboard, and you use this address as the receiver address for sending your tokens. Before we continue, however, I do want to point out that it's very important that you send it to the correct network. So in this case, we'll take a look at the Crypto.com app. And as we can see here, if you want to send CRO, we get to choose out of 3 networks. So the first one is CRO. This is an old network. Then we have ERC20, which is the Ethereum mainnet. And the third one is the one that we are looking for, which is the Cronos network. So in that case, we click on Cronos, we then copy paste our Metamask wallet address, and then we click continue. As a second example, we'll take a look at Binance. So on Binance, you will get to see this screen. So you select your token, for example, the BNB token. Then you choose your address, and next you will choose your network. So if we don't want to send it to the Ethereum mainnet, which is usually the default network on almost all the exchanges, you will have to change the network, for example, to the Binance Smart Chain network. Thankfully, you don't have to worry too much if you would send the CRO token or the BNB token to, for example, the Ethereum mainnet. This is not an issue because the mainnet also supports those tokens, and in that case, you can always send it back to the exchange and then try again. As we can see right here, I've successfully transferred some CRO tokens from the Crypto.com app to my Metamask wallet. So what we're going to do next is find a farm. For this, we're going to use DeFi Llama and we're going to filter on the different chains. So in this case, we're going to do our little demonstration on Cronos. Click. As we can see in the list, the most liquidity is locked up in the VVS Finance DEX. Here you can see the different categories, but usually you are able to stake and get some liquidity pools in DEXs. In this case, we're going to look at VVS Finance because we want enough liquidity to get in and to get out. Once you click on the project, you will get this information. Then you scroll down and you find the link to the official website. Next thing you do is connect your wallet to the application. In this case, we're using Metamask. And it will automatically pop up this little screen. Now, before you connect to any website, Metamask will give you a warning. As we can see, this website will be able to see our address, our account balance, activity, and suggest transactions to approve. Because we're not looking to trade, the most interesting menu is of course Earn, and over here we find exactly what we're looking for, and those are farms. The first thing you'll notice is that we're looking at liquidity pools. This means that you're providing 2 tokens. So one token, for example, is CRO and the other token is Ethereum. This is different from regular staking or providing liquidity on a lending platform. As a quick example, we're going to take a look at Tectonic. This is a lending platform on the Cronos network. As we can see, you have to provide one of these coins and in return, you will get this APY. Basically, it means that you will get, for example, 1.5% return annually if you lock up your Ethereum into this platform. Over at VVS Finance, however, if you lock up your Ethereum together with CRO, you'll be getting 23% in return. The only reason, of course, that you're getting a higher return is because you are taking more risk. The reason why you're taking a higher risk is because you're actually providing 2 different tokens and you're helping people swap from one token to the other. This also means that if one token is more popular than the other, then you'll be getting more of the unpopular token. Let's take a quick example. The price of CRO is going down and people want to sell the CRO for Ethereum. They're basically giving you the CRO token, and they're taking your Ethereum in return. This phenomenon is called impermanent loss. To make this even more clear, we're going to take a look at the block over at Trust Wallet, which gives you an explanation of impermanent loss. So in this example, we start our investment with providing 500 USD, this is a stable coin, and we provide also 12.5 BNB tokens at a price of $40. So this gives us a total of $1,000, $500 in the BUSD stablecoin and $500 in the BNB token. 1 week later, however, we see that the price of BNB is going up, and that means that people are buying your BNB and giving you the USD stablecoin in return. Good news, you might think, because you just made $60. However, if you would have held the BUSD separately and the BNB separately, you would have gotten $1,062, which means that holding the separate tokens in this case would have been more beneficial than providing the liquidity. So yes, you've guessed it correctly. In either case, whether it's going up or down, you'll be getting the token that is less popular. This means that if a coin is going up very fast and the other one is staying the same, then you'll be getting the one that is staying the same. If a coin is going down very fast, then you'll probably getting the coin that is going down, and people are trying to exit the coin by using your liquidity. So why the hell would anyone in their right mind ever think about providing liquidity? The reason is simple, and that is of course this nice little number over here. If we're able to get 23% APR, then this might be enough to cover our risk, and we will be willing to provide liquidity and take on the risk of impermanent loss. This is of course also the reason why new platforms will give you more APR, because they're trying to attract new customers onto their platform, and they're actually paying marketing dollars to get you in. The next question is, where is this money coming from? On a mature platform, this money is generated by fees from people swapping from one coin to the other. If it's a new platform, then this is usually generated by marketing dollars because the fees are still too low. The last option is of course a Ponzi farm, and these are the ones that you have to avoid, because then you're basically getting the money from the new people coming in, and at some point of course somebody has to be the last one, and they'll be holding the bag and they will lose all their money. So please try and avoid those scammy farms. To finish up this tutorial, I will show you how we can add something to this farm. The first thing that we need is the CRO token and the Ethereum token, and as you know, right now I only have the CRO token. Thankfully, VVS Finance is a DEX. That means that we can actually swap tokens on the same platform. This also means that we're using the liquidity that somebody else provided to perform this swap. Because we want to provide an equal amount of CRO tokens and Ethereum, I'm going to swap 50% of my balance. Now, very important, before you swap everything, you have to keep in mind you always need some CRO tokens to perform different actions on the network. So in this case, I'm not going to take exactly 50%, I'm going to make it a little bit less. So let's just say 190 tokens. And then I don't want it swapped to USDC, but I want to receive some Ethereum. There you go, 190 CRO tokens is 0.015 Ethereum. Then we click swap. Are we sure you want to swap under these conditions? Yes, confirm swap. As we see, we still need to confirm the transaction with our Metamask. This transaction is going to cost us probably almost 1 CRO. So we have to keep in mind, first of all, I have to perform this transaction. Then we need to create a liquidity pair, which is another transaction. And then we need to add liquidity pair to the farm. So those are 3 transactions, and I only have 3 CRO. So maybe it would be smarter to, for example, keep 10 CRO in my wallet. So in this case, we're going to cancel. And we're going to swap 180 CRO tokens. Let's try again. Swap, confirm, and then confirm with our wallet. And as we can see, a few seconds later, the swap has been performed. Next thing we do is create the liquidity pair. For this, we click on liquidity. Of course, as of this time, we have no liquidity pairs, but we're going to add a new one by clicking on add liquidity. The first token that we're going to use is, of course, the CRO token, and the second one that we're going to use is the Ethereum token. Let's use the maximum amount of Ethereum that we have by clicking on max, which was, of course, more or less the value of 180 CRO tokens. Because an application can't just spend the tokens that you have in your wallet, you will need to approve that the VVS Finance app can use our Ethereum by clicking on Enable Ethereum. And yes, this is another transaction that we have to approve. Very important, by default, you will always approve that the app can spend all your Ethereum. I think personally it is safer that you change this and you put a limit on how much the app can take out of your wallet. In our example, we're going to say 0.1, which is more than enough that we need for this transaction to go through. Scroll down, confirm, wait a few seconds. There you go. And now we can hit supply. Confirm. And confirm in our Metamask. Each transaction can take a few seconds up to a few minutes, depending on how busy it is on the chain and depending on which network you're using. Now that the transaction is successful, we see that we have this LP token, which is liquidity pair token, in our wallet. And yes, that's the one that we need, CRO Ethereum. The third and last step that we have to perform is to go back to Earn, click on Farms, click on the CRO ETH farm, enable. As we can see, we're now giving permission to the VVS Finance app to use our liquidity pool token by clicking confirm. Once the transaction is performed, we get a new button, which is stake liquidity pair. Next, you tell the farm how much you want to stake, and we are of course going for the maximum. Confirm. There you go. As you can see, we have now $50 invested in this little farm, and it should give us 23% on an annual basis if we don't compound the rewards. This brings us to the interesting difference between APR and APY. If you compound your rewards on an annual basis, so just once per year, then APR is the same as APY. However, if we compound it on a daily basis, we see that 23% turns into 25.85% APY. This might seem insignificant, but as soon as you get into higher APRs, this changes drastically. For example, 100% APR compounded daily turns into 170% on an annual basis. If we go even higher, 200% APR turns into 600% APY. This is of course the power of compounding your rewards. Because we've only been staking for a few seconds and we're only staking $50, you can imagine that the current harvest has very little value. But just as an example, we're going to click harvest. Next, we confirm the transaction. When we now take a look at our Metamask, we should have the VVS tokens in our wallet. As we can see, the only token in our wallet is the CRO token, and this is because the Metamask wallet by default doesn't know the VVS token. In that case, you can import the token yourself. You can find the contract on, for example, CoinGecko. You copy paste the contract, click Add Custom Token, and then import tokens. When we now look at our wallet, we see that we have the 5 VVS tokens that we just harvested. As I said before, unless you believe in the platform and the farm token, my suggestion is that you swap the token into something else. And this is done, of course, with the swap function that we find right here. Swap VVS. And let's swap it to USDC. Again, we see our 5 VVS tokens. We click max. And apparently this is worth $0.000046. If you then click swap, you'll be able to swap your tokens into USDC. Because the transaction costs are more expensive than what I'm getting in return, I'm not going to perform this action, but I assume that you understand how the system works by now. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to post a comment. And if you want more how-to videos like this, again, just post a comment and I'll see what I can do. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.